Sometimes the people we trust the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest. This story will take you into the heart of a family torn apart by choices, by sacrifice, and by betrayal. It is a journey of love tested by time, of pain hidden in silence, and of decisions that will shake the soul. Stay with me because what you're about to hear is not just a tale, it's a lesson about what truly matters in life. My name is Chinelo, and this is the story of how my life changed because of three little children who were not even mine. I was 22 years old when my brother Chike returned home one rainy evening with his children. His clothes were soaked, his face carried worry, his eyes looked like someone who had lost everything. Behind him stood three little children, shivering in the rain. The oldest was a boy about 7 years old, the second a girl of 5, the youngest barely 2, tied to his back with a worn-out wrapper. I rushed out of our mother's small compound when I heard his knock. "Chike, what happened?" I asked, trying to take the little boy from his back. He looked at me with tired eyes. "Chinelo, she's gone. Ifoma is gone." I froze. Ifoma was his wife. She had been sick for some time, but we all thought she would recover. "What do you mean she's gone?" I whispered, though I already understood. "She died yesterday," he said simply before collapsing on a bench. The children began to cry again, their voices rising above the rain. My heart broke for them. I hugged them close, my wrapper already wet, and promised myself silently that I would take care of them. But I did not know that my promise that night would bind me for many years. The next few weeks were heavy. Chike was restless. He said he could not stay in the village anymore because everything reminded him of his wife. He also complained that there was no money in the village. One morning, he called me. "Chinelo, I can't do this. I cannot stay here. I must go to Lagos. There is opportunity there. I will work, make money, and come back to my children." I looked at the three small children sitting in front of us. They were thin, their eyes swollen from constant crying. "So who will take care of them now?" I asked, almost afraid of his answer. "You, of course," he said. Like there was nothing. "You are their aunt now. Blood is blood. Just manage them for now. I will send money when I settle." I wanted to argue, but I remembered he was my elder brother, and deep inside, I loved these children already, so I agreed. That was the last time we saw him for many years. Days turned into months, months into years. No money came from Lagos, no letters, no calls, just silence. Meanwhile, I struggled. I was only a young woman, unmarried, with no stable job. I started selling vegetables in the market. Sometimes I washed clothes for neighbors to earn extra money. At night, I would sit and sew torn clothes with needle and thread to make a little more money. People in the village mocked me. Some said, "Who will marry a woman dragging 3 children that are not even hers?" Others laughed behind my back, saying I was wasting my youth. But then I looked at these children, and then I felt strength inside me. They depended on me. They called me Mama. That name became both a burden and a blessing. Many times I went hungry just to make sure they had food. I remember one evening when we had only 1 cup of garri left. I mixed it with water and gave it to them, pretending that I wasn't hungry. My stomach cried that night, but my heart was full because they were satisfied. Life was not easy. School fees was another battle. I wanted them to have education, but every term was a struggle. I would beg the headmaster for more time. Sometimes I borrowed money from women in the market and paid back little by little. I still remember one day when the headmaster sent Chisom home because of school fees. He walked into our compound with books under his arm and tears streaming down his face. "Aunty, they said I should not come back until I pay my school fees," he sobbed. I felt my chest tighten. That evening, I went from house to house, begging to wash clothes. By nightfall, I had gathered just enough money. The next day, I marched to the school and paid. The smile on Chisom's face was worth all my shame. But it wasn't just money. It was the loneliness too. Men who wanted to marry me would leave the moment they saw the children. One suitor told me plainly, "Chinelo, you are beautiful, but you have too much load. I cannot marry you with 3 children trailing behind." His words pierced me, but I did not cry. Instead, I looked at the children playing outside and I told myself, they are my destiny now. Years passed. The children grew before my eyes. Chisom became a brilliant boy. He loved books so much that sometimes he read under the moonlight when there was no kerosene in our lamp. Adezi was gentle and obedient, always helping me in the kitchen and in the market. And little Kene, though stubborn at times, was full of laughter that lit up our compound. Neighbors began to notice. Some who once mocked me started praising me. "Chinelo, you have done well though. These children are different. Well-mannered, well-trained." But only God and I knew the tears, the hunger, and the nights I cried silently, wondering if I was even enough for them. One year, I fell very sick. Malaria struck me down and I could not walk. For 2 weeks, I lay weak on my mat. The children cared for me. Adeze fetched water. Chisom cooked small meals, and Kene sat beside me, fanning me with palm fronds. At night, I would hear Adeze praying softly. "God, please don't take Mama away. Please keep her for us." Her prayer gave me strength. Slowly, I recovered. From then on, my love for them deepened. They were no longer my brother's children. They were mine in every way that mattered. By the time Chisom finished secondary school, he was one of the best students in the community. Teachers said he had a bright future. Adeze too was doing well, and Kene, though younger, showed signs of brilliance. I was proud. I told myself, maybe my suffering will not be in vain. Then one evening, as we were eating dinner, we heard the sound of a car entering our compound. We all rushed out because it seemed quite strange. And there he was, Chike, my brother, the man who had left us 12 years ago. He stepped out of the car wearing expensive clothes and shoes that shone under the daylight. His wristwatch glittered. He smiled broadly, revealing perfect white teeth "Children," he shouted, spreading his arms. "Your father has come back for you." The children froze. Their eyes shifted from me to him. I felt the ground beneath me shake. The moment my brother Chike spread his hands and shouted, I felt a cold wind blow across my heart. For 12 years, this man had vanished. No letters, no phone calls, no money, nothing. Now, here he was, dressed in wealth, smiling like a king, calling the children that I raised with my blood and sweat. Chisom the elder stood still, his face hard to read. Adese's eyes filled with confusion, and Kene, now a teenager, looked from me to him like he was trapped in a dream. "Come here, my children now," Chike shouted again, opening the back door of his shiny black car. Expensive gifts, boxes of gifts, clothes, biscuits, toys, shoes were piled inside. The children hesitated. Slowly, Chisom stepped forward, but only halfway. Are you really our father?" he asked in a voice that shook with fear and hope. Chike laughed, clapping his hands. "Of course! Don't you see my face? Don't you see my blood in your veins? Come on, my son, come to your father." Adese clung to my wrapper. "Mama, is it true?" she whispered. My chest tightened. "Yes, my child," I said softly. "This is your father. But remember, I'm the one who has been here all these years." That night, Chike insisted on sleeping in the compound. He killed a goat, bought crates of malt and beer, and invited neighbors to eat and drink. "Chike has returned from Lagos," they shouted. "He has made it big, oh." I sat quietly in a corner, bitterness rising in me as people hailed him. They forgot he abandoned his children. They forgot the years of my tears and hunger. Now they only saw his car, his clothes and his money. During the feast, Chike stood up and made a loud announcement. "My people, I thank you for welcoming me. Today, I have come back to take my children. They belong to me. I will give them a better life, a future that this village cannot provide." The crowd clapped. Some shouted, "Yes, oh, yes, a father is a father." My heart broke. I looked at Chisom. His face was tight, his eyes shining with anger. Adese's lips trembled, and Kene looked like he was about to cry. The next morning, Chike called the children into his car. He gave them new clothes, shoes and money to buy sweets. He spoke about Lagos, about tall buildings, schools with air conditioners, trips abroad, and a mansion waiting for them. Adese's eyes widened in wonder. Kene giggled and played with the gadgets he bought. But Chisom remained silent. Later, when Chike stepped out to make a call, Chisom came to me. "Mama," he said firmly, "I don't trust him. Where was he all these years? When we were hungry, when you were sick, he left us. Now he wants us back because he's rich." Tears filled my eyes. I pulled him close. "My son, I cannot force you. I only pray you will see all the truth with your own eyes." But deep down, I feared. Money blinds people, even children. 2 nights later, Chike confronted me. "Chinelo, enough of this, oh. These are my children. I will take them whether you like it or not. I faced him squarely. Chike, do you have a heart? For 12 years, I fed them, clothed them, and trained them. You abandoned them. You abandoned me. Now you've come with money and you think you can erase the past? He laughed coldly. What do you know about life? Love does not pay school fees. Affection does not buy a future. With me, they will enjoy. With you, they will remain poor villagers. I trembled with anger. You may have given them blood, but I gave them life. Without me, they would have died. Our voices rose so high that neighbors gathered. Some supported me, others told me to surrender. After all, the children belonged to their father, they said. But in my heart, I knew they belonged to me too. The matter reached the elders. A meeting was called at the village square. Chike came with bags of rice, drinks and money for the elders. He spoke with confidence. These are my children, he said. No one can stop me from taking them. Then it was my turn. I stood trembling, but I spoke from my soul. For 12 years, I was their father and mother. I sold vegetables to pay their school fees. I went hungry so they could eat. I carried them when they were sick. Where was Chike then? Where was he? Where was his love? Where was his money? If fatherhood is only about blood, then he is right. But if it's about sacrifice, then these children are mine. The square grew silent. Some elders nodded. Others shifted uncomfortably. Finally, the eldest man spoke. Children, the choice is yours. Do you want to go with your father or remain with the woman who raised you? The crowd gasped. All eyes turned to the children. Chisom stepped forward first. His voice was steady, though his hands shook. With all respect, I will not go. Aunty is my mother. She gave me everything. A father who abandons his children for 12 years is no father. The crowd murmured. Some clapped. Adese's eyes filled with tears. She looked at me, then at her father's gifts. Slowly, she shook her head. I will stay. Mama is the only parent I know. The people gasped again. But Kene, the youngest, hesitated. His eyes were on his shiny wristwatch his father promised him. He whispered, I want to see Lagos. My heart cracked, but I held my face strong. Chike's face twisted in anger. So you poisoned me against them, Chinelo. You turned them into my enemies, right? I said nothing. They spoke their truth. He stormed off, but days later, he returned with police officers. He accused me of kidnapping his children. They threatened to arrest me. My body shook with fear, but the villagers rose up. Women I had once helped, neighbors who had seen my struggle, surrounded the compound. You will not take her, they shouted. We all know the truth. The police, overwhelmed by the crowd, finally left, but Chike swore, this is not the end. I will take them by law or by force. Months passed. The children stayed with me. Though tension filled the air, Chike kept coming, sometimes with gifts, sometimes with threats. Then one day, he fell sick. Word spread that his wealth was collapsing. His business partners had betrayed him, and his health was failing. On his sickbed, he sent for the children. I feared they would refuse, but Chisom said, Mama, let us go. He is still our father. We went together. Chike lay weak, his once bright eyes dull. Tears ran down his cheeks as he saw them. Forgive me, he whispered. I thought money was everything. But when I look at you, I see that I lost what really mattered. Chinelo, you are the real mother of my children. The children cried. Even I cried. He died not long after. Life moved on. The children remained with me. They worked hard, went to university, and became successful. But they never forgot the lessons of love and sacrifice. Sometimes, when people asked them who their mother was, they pointed to me proudly. She's not just our aunt, they would say. She's the one who raised us. She is our true mother. Each time I heard those words, I knew my pain or my sacrifice was never in vain. What happens when a man abandons his children for over 12 years only to return later, rich and powerful, demanding them back? Thank you, my dear viewers, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you picked a thing or two. Kindly tell me in the comments section what part of the story you enjoyed the most. Until I come your way again next time with another interesting story. Bye.